Welcome, everybody, to Real Fun Times with the Doctor. That's me.
And Snowy, that's me.
Hey, guys.
Hey, girl, hey.
I am excited about this.
Dude, I'm very excited. I feel like we're more on the same page this week.
I believe so.
And so, like,
Although
I know what's happening.
I changed nothing. My approach was do exactly the same thing.
I met your approach halfway since...
Meet me halfway.
That's the jam. I never get tired of Kenny Loggins. Soundtrack genius. You heard it here first. Is that
who that is?
Yes.
I hear people talk about him all the time. I have no idea.
Love Kenny Loggins.
Now I see. What is it? I can see clearly now?
The rain is gone, but that's not him.
No, different.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try that one more time?
No, I think Into My Wine Glass was good. I think that's what the people wanted to hear.
That is what the people, of all the feedback.
Yeah.
More
Noelle.
More wine.
Talking into her wine glass. Just random grunts into the wine glass.
We call it a snowy special.
Oh.
Well, what are we doing today? We decided
we are going to continue our conversation about movies in the 2000s, the 2010s. I may have to do one or two little addendums from the other week just because
absolutely.
I had like 5 movies in my head and then I was like, wait, what? Paragraphs?
You weren't prepared for what I did. I wasn't prepared for what you did. It was an overall success.
Yeah, I think it was great.
I loved it.
And then we're going to have a couple more questions to ask each other, which I thought was very fun last week.
Yeah, I had a blast last week. So basically this is Minisode number 4.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to go ahead and do it to finish it out, but we're definitely going to do more of these, I think.
I think in the future, yeah, but
I'm loving them.
I'm also very excited for the week after this one because that means that full episodes are back.
First full episode back. Back, baby, back.
I'm so excited.
Baby got back.
Yes.
That's different.
A song we could both dance to.
Maybe. I'm not a great dancer. Maybe after a few drinks, though. Everything changes.
I just meant because we got them cheeks that clap. Like, that's all.
Oh, my. Well, folks, Minisode number 4. All right, so we should get started.
Let's do it. So I had said very stupidly when you initially last week had said, do you have any movies from the 70s? And I was like, no, not really. I don't. Jaws. Right. And Jaws, I think, is a very important movie for both of us. I mean, if you have listened to us from the beginning, which you'll be able to find on the website when I talk about why Jaws has affected me my entire life. Jaws is such an incredible movie. It was again, the only shark movie that really holds up.
I'm kind of shocked that you're saying that was in the 70s.
Yeah.
That blows me away.
Mm-hmm.
I was already blown away thinking it was in the 80s. I mean, we've talked about how much I adore Jurassic Park, but this might truly be Steven Spielberg's greatest work.
Mm-hmm. And it's so funny that so much of the movie's brilliance were from accidents. The fact that the weather didn't behave, the fact that
the shark
Bruce didn't behave. Which, for those of you that don't know, Bruce was the name of the mechanical shark, and that's why they named the great white Bruce in Finding Nemo as an homage.
Nice! I did not know that. I loved Finding Nemo.
That was such a cute little movie.
Dory, talk about not as great.
No.
I mean, it's fine. Exactly. No, I know that Steven Spielberg's made amazing movies.
Right.
Tons, but
get it.
But for what he was doing, how early in the career,
Baby Richard Dreyfuss.
I know, such a great cast. Each one brilliant.
And of course I do. I have all 3 of the Funko Pops. I've got Roy Schneider, Quint, Richard Dreyfuss, and I've got a Bruce Funko.
Well, I'm going to have to, we spoke about this privately, but I'm going to have to call you out on this publicly. I want to see these on the social medias. I demand Funko Pops.
And you shall have them.
I don't get to see them. They're not displayed about. And I always
want
for them,
to. But yeah.
I have plans for them. Hurry up.
Oh, man. And to go a decade back really quickly to the 60s,
okay.
The Parent Trap. The original Parent Trap, Haley Mills. I
Loved
lived and
that movie as
died
a
for that
kid.
movie. My poor father. It's a joke. If I watch it, I have to text him or call him, and he's like, "Oh God, please no," because I made him watch it so much when I was a little girl. I just thought that it was the coolest, best movie.
Even the follow-up with
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan before The Crazy was a great movie.
I didn't.
But
I
it
couldn't.
didn't touch the original.
No. How can you?
Is that the times of Pollyanna?
Yeah, about
You
right there.
know Pollyanna?
I loved Pollyanna.
I bet you did.
I loved
it.
So good.
Disney had some good stuff back then.
They did.
Glad you went back a decade. We have a lot of decades to
There's
discuss. So many minisodes.
And then one more from the 60s, McClintock, which is a John Wayne movie. It's hilarious. It's got some really...
Is it a comedy?
It is.
A Western comedy?
Yes.
Nice.
Some really saucy lines.
I like a saucy Wayne.
I bet you do. If you've not seen it, it is definitely... That's something you and I should just watch sometime. Maybe we can go visit my parents.
We really need to start this list of...
what we just are going to watch in general.
We're putting Eurotrip on there.
Mm-hmm. And McClintock. That's it.
List done.
Those are the greats, kids. Anybody tells you otherwise. And then I had 3 from the 80s that I did not mention because I'm a turd burglar. Troop Beverly Hills. Stars Shelley Long, Craig T. Nelson, rich Beverly Hills mom going through a divorce. She decides she's going to be her daughter's scout leader. Not the Girl Scouts, and they call it Wilderness Girls. It's everything. It kind of began my obsession with Carla DiGugino, or I don't know how the hell you pronounce her last name, but there's this great song about it's cookie time.
Wow! It's so I don't know that one.
I own it. It's another one. Henry Hates It. My dad had to watch it. So
it.
I did.
Overplayed it.
It's
easy to do at that age, especially in those times.
Yes.
You describing that movie reminded me of a classic 80s movie, Beverly Hills Cop.
Which is one of the greatest movies ever.
In
young Eddie Murphy.
Amazing. Both of the sequels held up.
They landed,
Not as good as the original. The original is just one of a kind.
And Bronson Pinchot playing the art dealer in the first movie. The flamboyancy, the accent. Can I offer you perhaps like a Perrier or like a lemon twist? Like, I'm serious. Like,
yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I could stand for a rewatch of this. It's been a long time for me.
Maybe not so good in a lot of people's eyes is the movie Dune with Kyle MacLachlan. It's a David Lynch film. I have said a bazillion times what a huge David Lynch fan I am.
Yeah.
It's based on the books, which really Dune is the cornerstone of really all of our modern sci-fi. I mean, Star Wars took from it, Star Trek took from it. I mean, everything you see, like you see elements of Dune in these films and in this lore, and it's really like the centerpiece, the building block of like all of our modern sci-fi.
I personally don't know it. I know of it because it is referenced so much and so highly revered, but I don't believe I've ever seen it. Maybe glimpse. I know there's a lot of sand.
Yes.
But I haven't seen it.
But I loved Dune when I was a kid. I still love it now. I'm not excited about the new Timothée Chalamet version coming out. I think he's super overrated.
Not a fan.
No, I'm not. And the last movie I don't think we talked about was Lost Boys.
We didn't talk about
Lost Boys is something that I watch at least once a year. It 100% holds up.
Oh, well, talking about Lost Boys, what about the one with that Stephen King adaptation with the kids going to find the dead body?
Pet Sematary.
No, that one's great. I'm talking about
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Great movie.
It's fantastic. And then I'm sorry. We are sitting kind of close. We sit side by side when we podcast, and I am just like,
they don't need to know how close we are.
Well,
we're close.
Lots of elbow hitting tonight.
There is a lot of elbow action.
Sorry.
Let us both lean away.
It'll look at you. All the young actors that went somewhere that didn't, because that was River Phoenix was in that, I believe.
Yeah.
And,
the great River Phoenix went way too soon.
You know that Stephen King, that Carrie was his least favorite book he ever wrote?
No.
Apparently
great fucking book.
Yeah. A fantastic book. I think the movies
fantastic movie.
Yeah.
You know that movie, The Descent?
Mm,
I love that movie. We'll talk about it in the aughts, but we call it a cave carry.
that's amazing. And when we bring it up, I have something to say about that movie, but I
Awesome.
shan't do it now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then 90s Party Girl, 1995 Parker Posey, my homegirl. She
Love
is
Parker Posey, but
a
I don't think I've seen Party Girl.
I had it on VHS and I just
Wore it
watched
out.
it. I did. She is a party girl in New York in the 90s and she gets arrested. Her librarian godmother has to come and bail her out and she ends up getting a job at the library.
Awesome.
And it's just
Say no more.
yeah,
I love it.
it's this movie
I
to
kind of need to
me.
put that on a watch list.
Yeah, you have to watch that with me. Like,
Oh,
you have to.
put it on the
Put
list.
it on the
Add
list.
it to the
That's the
two.
third one. Usual Suspects.
Oh,
Bryan Singer's first film.
wow, wow, wow. What a film. What a knockout of a film. Great call, Snowy.
Yeah. That began my obsession with Gabriel Byrne.
And Kevin Spacey for me.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that movie.
That waned.
Just to be clear.
Let us be clear.
I was like, really?
Real Fun Times does not condone.
Does not endorse Kevin Spacey. But man, that movie, that was such an incredible film.
Amazing.
That was damn near perfect.
Absolutely. And I would say it absolutely holds up.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant writing, brilliant execution, brilliant acting, just all
everybody
great.
And lastly, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, which I've mentioned before, and John Cusack, directed by Clint Eastwood, based on a true story. And I absolutely love the hell out of that movie. But now I'm done. I'm sorry. Those are my addendums. I just could not believe.
Great. And you know what? It's going to be so fun about this recurring segment. How many things we've missed that people are yelling at us about right now. Right. Why aren't you talking about blah, blah, blah? We will. We just forgot.
And I think, too, I mean, it's not, I think we're picking out some of our absolute favorites. And so I think there are probably going to be movies that we are going to miss that people are like, we are probably seen it, we appreciate it, but it may not hold a special place like in the old heart that.
Yeah, the corazon.
That was nice. Let's say that again.
Let's move on, Snowy. The good people don't want. Right. So, should we go to the aughts? Do you want to start with a list?
Okay. My first movie is Best in Show.
Ah, brilliant. Chef's Kiss. Really, the whole series.
They were all
starting
fantastic.
With Spinal Tap.
Which I did not realize until I was like a little bit older that those were
the same guys,
right? Because I was a big fan in the early 2000s when all those were coming out, watching them, and then I loved Spinal Tap, and then one day I was rewatching it, and I was like, wait a minute, and
I'm pretty sure the first time I saw it, I thought it was real.
Like I did too. Like, yeah, when I was a kid, I thought
best
Spinal Tap
documentary I'd ever seen in my life. Which both of those things I think are still true.
Which really, I mean, the original mockumentary.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're a real band in the essence that they played those instruments, right?
I believe so.
They're that talented, the group of individuals.
Yes.
And oh man, talk about the greats. Our homies, Catherine O'Hara,
Eugene Levy.
Mm-hmm, forever.
Yeah, they were. That was a great set of films. But Best in Show is probably. That's my pinnacle. That was the first one that really, I feel like, kind of got me on the loop.
I would say Best in Show was number one for a long time for me. But Waiting for Guffman, I would say probably edged it out by a smidge because I love that fucking movie.
It is a great movie.
We should rewatch those.
Yeah, just a whole day.
I just showed Best in Show to my mom this holiday season.
What did she think?
Loved it.
As you can imagine, my dad and I adore it. My mom's just not, that's not her cup of tea.
Sins and I, we're on a different wavelength, I believe, on entertainment.
Yeah, I think, and she likes sweet movies. She likes comedy. She likes romance.
Sure. And I don't hate all of those. But I feel with those, it's a time and a place for me. I have to be in the mood where you can usually pop on some sort of comedy or action thriller or horror, and I'm pretty down.
Yeah, same. Second movie, Fifth Element.
Oh, absolutely.
And I thought that movie gets a lot of hate, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I think I put Fifth Element in the 90s last week. Did you put them in the aughts?
Because I think it was like early 2000s.
Oh, man. Brilliant. I remember the first time I saw that, just feeling so jazzed about it.
So jazzed.
Like, definitely wanted to repeat it immediately.
And just thinking Gary Oldman was absolutely everything. And Chris Tucker as
Brilliant.
Ruby Rod. Like,
and I loved that opera creature.
Yeah. and people who actually can do her. Have you seen the videos?
That was a real, yeah.
The people that can mimic that. Like, I don't know how you do.
No.
I mean, I'm tone deaf, so like that's not.
You don't want to hear me try. No. I can guarantee that.
Return to Me is another one. David Duchovny, Minnie Driver. It's one of the only romance movies I will ever. I don't like romance. Gotcha. I'm not a fan. There's about 5 that I secretly. This is at the top of the list. He marries his high school sweetheart. She dies in a car crash. Minnie Driver gets her heart, and the two of them meet.
Oh wow!
And it's got like the guy that played Archie Bunker. I think Bonnie Hunt actually wrote and directed it. And yeah, she's in it. But it is a tearjerker and a half. It's sweet. I think it was like 2001 is when it came out, or 2000. Man, I just think it's just the sweetest little movie.
Yeah, I haven't checked that one out.
Do you want to tell me a couple of yours?
Yeah, I've got Gladiator, Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I kept going back to those because those movies I've seen umpteen times and I love so much. But I was like, should I put the trilogy on? Should I not? Should I put one of them? I can't just put one of them. Fantastic.
I couldn't. If I had a gun to my head, I'm gonna go with Return of the King. No, I'm sorry, Twin Towers. Nope, wrong again.
Fellowship.
Nope.
We've gone through all 3, so.
But no, Twin Towers is not the right thing.
Oh, Two Towers.
Two Towers. Is it Two Towers?
The Two Towers.
I like the second one.
Really? Because I feel like the second one is the one that gets the most flack.
No, that entire last half of the battle, I mean, it's brilliance on a level that is hard to imagine that they reached then, and that I feel hasn't been reached since.
Okay.
The quality of that film, that particular scene, that battle scene, just brilliant. And it's got a lot of my homie, Aragorn.
You do love him.
I love him.
Now, that's one thing you and Cindy can bond on, because Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, like, my mom just thinks
for me as well.
That's the pinnacle of
Viggo and many other things.
Not so much.
I'm amazing actor.
Oh, for
Great
sure.
guy. Not ugly.
No.
He just doesn't do
Somebody just
Viggo...
likes a rugged gentleman.
He's a damn good actor. Then I've got a Dark Knight, Tintin.
Right now?
Tintin.
What is that?
So Tintin was Steven Spielberg animation, sort of Pixar-y, that type of high quality, which is based off of a comic.
Okay.
And it's like this kid or young guy with this funny little hairdo and his tiny little white dog that's super cute.
Okay.
And the dog's very smart, and they go on these adventures. I think it's called Tintin's Adventures or something, the comic strip is. And I think they made comic books. I remember seeing that shit when I was super young. But this adaptation in particular is brilliant. It's like this fun action adventure. The voice acting on it's great. The animation is pristine. The story's hilarious. I can't say enough good stuff about Tintin.
Okay.
We're definitely putting that on the list.
I've never, not familiar.
Got to see it. It's so good. Couple of yours?
High Fidelity.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
That movie was, and yeah, I'm kind of pissed. John Cusack was actually in town, I feel like right before everything shut down, like last year.
Really? What was he up to?
To watch the movie and comment on it with an audience, with a live audience.
What?
And I found out, and I was like, I was just, just furious.
That's so cool that happened around here.
Yeah.
Way to go.
So, but High Fidelity, And the only other romantic comedy that I've got, Love Actually.
Yes, you're a fan of that one.
I am a huge fan, and that's something that my dad and I watch every Christmas together. It's just, I think it's sweet, and I like when Hugh Grant dances to the Pointer Sisters because I'm a Pointer Sister enthusiast. I celebrate their entire catalog.
Right, right.
But I think it's great. Next up, Mulholland Drive, another David Lynch film. It's really what brought Naomi Watts. It was her big shining moment. The movie is fantastic. It's a mind fuck.
What's it about? I don't think that I've ever seen it.
She is a young woman that has moved to LA to pursue her Hollywood dream.
Okay.
And maybe
things don't go well. Things get complicated.
Yes, and that's all I will say because I don't want to ruin anything.
Give it away.
It's a fantastic movie.
Okay.
I don't know how people are going to feel about this, but Trick or Treat.
You're awesome. It took me a minute. Tell me why. I don't know that I've seen that one, but I know the one you mean.
I really enjoy movies that are vignettes that all kind of come together.
How do you feel about VHS?
It was dark, but I liked it.
Fucked up.
Yeah,
like
good. It was. Yeah,
that first one. I don't think I've seen the second one. I think the first one fucked me up so good that I was like,
that's kind of honestly how I felt.
I don't need to see.
I've seen it one time, and I think I was like, I'm good.
I don't need to see anymore.
I think I'm straight. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not. But
she's not.
I thought it was super well acted. It was gory enough. It kind of got you in the gut a little bit. It was surprising enough.
Now, this is the one where a pumpkin comes alive?
No.
So it's not the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
No. I feel like almost in that yes but no spirit of Krampus, where it's like what happens to the bad people.
A Halloween creature comes to you.
Yeah, and what happens when you really, truly misbehave and are a piece of shit on Halloween.
So this is a good creature in essence.
Pseudo.
Because he's taking out the baddies, just in fucked up ways. Not any way that we would be like, condone that.
And there are some fucked up things that happen, but it is
interesting. I might
it's really fun.
Would you say that's podcast worthy?
No, it's way too good.
Okay,
it's way too good.
We'll have to put it on the list. Yeah. Man, this list is getting long already.
We have to end the podcast just so we can devote all of our time to watching these movies. And I'm going to finish strong with my last one, Grandma's Boy.
Love Grandma's Boy. Very good. High five.
I love everything about that movie. I think it's hilarious. I own 3 copies of it. I will always love that movie.
Agreed. 1,000%. Couldn't agree more.
Nice.
Now, I've got 2 more pages worth of odds. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to
rapid fire.
We're going to cap those guys for our next minisode.
Okay.
For our continuing series.
Okay. All right.
Because I would love to go on to some questions.
Let's do it. And I started the questions off last time, so why don't you start them off this time?
Let's do it. I want to know, what's your go-to movie when you need a pick-me-up?
When I need a pick-me-up. Oof. This is really silly, but I love Monsters Inc. I think it's a cute. And it used to be a cat that I used to have. It was his favorite movie. If he heard the music, he would come and sit down in front of the TV and just lay beside me and just focus on the television. I don't know what it was about it, but it makes me think of my little Elliot.
What was the baby's name? Boo?
They called her Boo. Yeah.
Ah, hilarious.
That's probably if I need to pick me up, or if I'm. I need something prolonged. I watch a lot of South Park. I'm a big South Park fan. How about you?
I would say Princess Bride is a great overall pick-me-up.
Mm-hmm.
But similarly to you, my next go-to would be something animated. Something fun that I love that I just have a good time watching.
Right.
And that there's so many good ones now.
There's so many. Yeah. True. Of the movies that we have seen on the podcast, what movie would you be most excited to see a remake of? This is a 2-part question. You can answer the first one. Ask you the second one.
Ooh, a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. That is a good question. You know what? I'm going to say Killer Clowns. because I think they were really hampered by where they were with technology
Mm-hmm.
and the overall theme of not being sure if they were trying to be way too silly or serious.
Right.
That would be fun to see an updated version. I think they do great stuff with the effects, with the visuals of the clowns, and with the gags as far as killing different murders, different types of deaths.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, I didn't honestly, because I think I was so focused on the one movie in my head that I kind of neglected that one, but I am really on board with you. However, I think Witchboard would be a really fun remake.
Yes, also great pick.
Second part to that question, what movie would you like to be involved in rewriting the follow up? Like, what movie would, if somebody was like, okay, of these 16 movies, and we're going to do a remake, what movie would you like to be on the writing team to make this better?
Interesting. I think out of pure necessity, it would have to be Santa with muscles to make it in any way bearable for any human person to enjoy it or want to see it ever.
That's okay. That is fair.
It is my duty, my solemn duty. Some people, they want to be president,
Mm,
doctors, lawyers.
not the
Not I.
Not you.
I've got real important stuff in mind, you guys. Santa with muscles, part 2. How
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
about you?
Let's see. I think maybe Xanadu.
Really?
I think there could be some legit tweaks to that would make it far more bearable.
I 100% agree with you. Great call. Same fucking cast. What's happened? Do I have something on my face?
No. Like,
Can you see
to remake it now to have the same cast.
Well,
we would have to marionette Gene Kelly, and that would not be okay.
I see what you mean. I was faulty in that reasoning.
Now, if I could go back in time, that's a whole different spectrum of, like, how much things would I change? Would I even be here now? Like,
if you could turn back time. No.
I do a sweet Cher impression. I can't do it on here, but I have to do it for you sometime.
We'll see if you can't do it on here one day. Challenge accepted. What book series do you wish you could live in?
Oh, a book series. That's going to be hard for me because I've not read that many book series.
Not 50 Shades?
I do not get me started on that bullshit ass piece of trash trilogy. I just feel like if she can like write such garbage, why? And I'm a good writer. Like what? How dare you? Honestly, it'll probably be some sort of like Lord of the Rings-esque.
Absolutely fantasy, same.
Yeah.
If I were to pinpoint it for me, I would prefer the Lewis.
C.S. Lewis, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe series.
Yes.
I thought about that.
I love the idea of going into fantasy and then back out into reality at will.
That's cool. Now, on that vein, what is his Dark Materials, the book that show's based off of?
The Golden Compass.
The Golden Compass. Because you can kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
And the witches in that are so badass.
Dope. And they have those awesome little pets.
Yes.
Well, I guess they're,
like they're
more than
they're
a pet,
souls or whatever. But yeah.
Whatever the terminology
They're
is,
demons.
But, yeah, I want some of that demon
Yeah,
action.
I want a demon that'll talk to me and
Hell
like
yeah,
be with me.
high five.
Like to have a little Odin with me all the time that like talks
but
back
like
to
talking
me.
and shit and like giving you advice, like Snowy, no more wine.
I'm like, you don't know nothing, Odin.
Odin, go clean your litter. Fuck you, man. We can both do this. There's so many good ones I have. We're gonna have to leave a couple of these for our next minisode.
Oh God!
But
okay.
I think I know which one I'm gonna ask.
What was the first horror movie you saw as a kid?
Oh man. Okay, that's a really great question. And I'm gonna have to go with Jaws because that's the first memory I can remember as far as a vivid horror, like unpleasant experience.
Right.
I don't know that they categorize
I think
Jaws in the
I think it
horror
should
genre,
be.
but for me, it was horrific.
I
And
mean, Bruce has been on the as far as like the killers list of stuff. Like he
oh
makes
yeah,
it,
that's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
So
I would completely count it as horror, but some of the best horror ever. And to this day, I'm terrified of the ocean because of it.
you know that I am.
Yes.
I would have to say I'm pretty sure that this happened before the Jaws. So my parents, when I was a kid, like they liked me to hang out with them. Like if they had friends over or whatever, like it wasn't like go to your room, like do whatever. Like I was included,
Mhm.
and I'll never forget Alien being on
Oh,
when I was a kid,
yes.
and
Mhm.
I had a specific blanket that I would always, sit on the couch with, and my parents would be like, "Okay, you can't watch this under the blanket," and I would cover, but there was a little hole in it that I could,
A little peek hole.
yeah,
That's like a version of earmuffs.
yes, and I remember watching through there, and my parents had company over. It was our next door neighbors, and we're all watching it. I remember like kind of gauging the crowd. Something really fucked up happened in the movie, and we're looking around and like, I don't know about y'all, but I want to get the hell out of there. And my parents were like, "Oh my god!" Like, and but I feel like Alien was the first real horror that I recall, and then after that, I mean,
So many.
so many, yeah. It's like Jaws, and then
I remember being affected by several. I didn't see Alien until much later in life. So, but once I saw it, I mean, it definitely made the list of the best movies. But like, I remember definitely Jaws, Killer Clowns because of my douchebag uncle.
terrified of that when I was a kid. Yep.
And I saw Terminator when I was real young.
Mm.
I want to say like 8, maybe 7. Terrified. Then the next time I was really scared by a movie, I think was it's the one with the motel.
Oh, Psycho?
No.
The motel.
Yeah, here's Johnny.
Oh, The Shining.
The Shining.
It's a hotel.
Oh, my BC. You're like Motel 8?
I don't know her.
They left the light on for you. You shouldn't be scared. Yeah, The Shining. And I saw that as like a 17-year-old. So I wasn't little, but it
You're like, "Ah!"
terrified me. Terrified me.
I think the only thing that really affected me, I was scared of Freddy Krueger when I was a kid. And I don't even know if I remember watching that when I was young, but I just remember seeing Freddy and just being horrified. And then the clown from It, and watching It when I was a kid. And that destroyed me for the rest of my life.
Didn't see those when I was young, but yeah, I would. Those are classics. Okay, my final question for this evening.
Yes, ma'am.
If you were arrested, what would it be for, and who would you call to bail you out?
Oh, if I was arrested, probably some shit nobody would expect. Knowing as an adult, I've never been in a fight in my life, wouldn't surprise me if I finally just couldn't deal with someone's mouth anymore
An all-out brawl.
and and I would, Cindy and Henry, mommy and daddy.
Go to mommy and daddy.
Oh, yeah.
And they would bail you out in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Now, do you think there would be a no talking in the car afterwards, or would it be
No, my mom would be ready to fuck somebody up.
the person that you brawled with?
Oh, yeah, my mom
or
would
the arresting officer?
Probably both. Probably both. And my dad would be listening, nodding, trying to take it all in.
Eyes on the road.
Yeah. He would definitely be driving. My mom would be way too
Turning
bent out of
around.
shape. Aunt T might be in the car also,
She's holding your hand.
ready to, trying to keep me calm.
Right.
Maybe with some emergency wine. I don't know. But it would definitely be the parents. When I was little, I'll never forget, a kid spit on me in the first grade.
Ugh. Sure.
And my parents were the type that they taught me, someone does something to you, you do it back, but You defend yourself.
Mhm.
That's what I was taught growing up.
Don't get walked on.
And he spit on me, and I hawked a loogie back on this kid. My teacher saw me, not him. I got in trouble. I was going to be suspended. My mom said, "Oh, no, no, no." I'll never forget being in my classroom. My mom had an appointment with the teacher and the principal. And I remember looking out, and we had kind of an open courtyard that you would go to all the classes in, and like walkways when I was in elementary school. I'll never forget seeing my mom. She had on this black dress. She had on pumps. She had on her black fur coat. My dad had on a like suit, tie, like,
Damn.
and her just
It's like the Sopranos just walked in.
And guess who didn't get suspended?
Nice. Hell yeah, Sins and Henry.
My mom's a bad bitch.
Oh, gee.
Like, yeah, she's awesome. But
That's great.
was, I'll never forget looking out and being like, I mean, even at, how old are you in first grade? 7?
Yeah,
8?
I imagine.
And being like, right there. Yep, we got it. Like, I just, because in my little head, I hadn't done anything wrong. So, yes, if I was arrested, Cindy and Henry.
Brawling.
Yep. How about you?
Probably drugs at a show, at a concert.
Accurate.
It's happened to my friends, so it's only logical that I might.
And who would you call?
Depending on what location
Mhm.
the show is in, if it's local, probably Kelly. I think she would be the most cool-headed and most able to help financially.
Right.
Or at least get me in the right direction.
Right.
If I were like outside of the country, Rose,
Mm-hmm.
no matter where we were,
Right.
come get me.
Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. But just know, if you were needed to call me,
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
like one of the Jackson 5, I'll be there.
Well done. Tip of the old hat indeed. Oh man, that was fun.
That was a really good time.
Time again flew the fuck by. We're at nearly an hour.
Jesus Christ.
And we cut it way short. There's so many more movies and so many more questions I want to ask you.
Yeah, but we're just going to have to throw another Minisode in just as a
Cap
surprise.
it,
Yeah.
save it,
For later.
keep it safe.
Keep it secret. Keep it secret.
Guys, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
What a fun time. Would love to hear some of your favorites.
Yeah, what are your favorite movies from the past few decades?
What do you think about our picks?
Do you agree? Do you not? Are you like, how could you forget?
We want to hear about those.
Probably-
We know we forgot
We're
a
going to
shit
say
ton.
something and be like, oh my God, we're the worst.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. I say it 5 times a day.
Sad truth. But yeah, where can they reach out?
They can reach us at realfuntimespodcast@gmail.com. They can hit us up on Facebook. They can hit us up on Instagram and be like, holla at your girls. Rate us 5 stars.
Yeah, review us.
DM us.
Share
Give us those comments.
Like us. Tell people to tell other people.
Yeah.
We're going to make this
Telephone
happen.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
By the time it's done with telephone, though, you know how that shit goes.
Yeah, it's a completely different message.
Yeah. So maybe don't telephone.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But definitely tell a friend. Join us next week for our first official full episode.
And what are we watching next week?
Movie 43.
This is going to be a very fun re-entry into the Real Fun Times world. I'm very excited to have this as our first movie.
Yes, come back next week and join us on a new adventure.
Yes, we got some new stuff coming for you guys. So
Yeah. Stay tuned for websites,
Mhm.
more upgrades,
Yes.
more fun stuff. It's coming to you
More.
soon.
We were both real excited about enunciating.
Completely different things.
Yeah, I was going to say more hot shit.
Let's go with yours.
More hot shit.
Bye, guys.
Bye.